This is 12 marks comparative balance sheet. Okay, they can either ask comparative balance sheet or common size balance sheet. Okay, first let me teach comparative and then I will make a video on common size. Okay, so as I said, in financial statements you have two. One is income statement or statement of profit and loss. The second one is balance sheet, which is also called as position statement. So if you know the format, prepare doing comparative and common size is very easy. So as I said, first look at the question. Okay, if the question is in the particular format, just copy the question as it is. If the question is not in the format, you need to arrange it in the format. In 6 marks, I've taught you how to prepare balance sheet and how to prepare statement of profit and loss. In balance sheet, the format is what? As I told you, you will begin with equity and liabilities. Under that, you have three headings: shareholders fund, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Then followed by assets. Under assets, you have two headings. One is non-current assets and current assets. Okay. In income statement, I taught you statement of profit and loss, which is also called as income statement. Their format was revenue from operation, other revenue. When you total this, you get total revenue, call that as A. Then I told you list of expenses: cost of revenue, uh, cost of uh, cost of material consumed, purchase of stock, change in inventories, employee benefit expense. You had few expenses, no? Total all that will give you total expenses, call that as B. A minus B, that is total revenue minus total expense, will give you profit before tax. Deduct tax, that will give you profit after tax. This is what I mean by format. So first check if the question is in a format. If it is there, if it is not in the format, you need to arrange it under the according to the format, and then start doing whatever is being asked to do. Okay, for example, look at this question. It says, from the following information, prepare comparative balance sheet or position statement, with both are same. Balance sheet is also called as position statement. Now what are they asking you to do? Comparative. Okay, now first check if the question is in an agreed format. Share capital, general reserve, secured loan, current liability. It is not in the format. Okay, you need to arrange it in the format. What is the format? First of all, begin the statement like this: comparative balance sheet bracket position statement as on 31/3/2016, 31/3/2017. That will be your heading. Now start writing. This is your particulars, date 31/3/2016 rupees, same way 31/3/2017 rupees. Okay, now as I said, you will just copy the question. Okay, but arrange it in the format. Because it is not in the format, you need to arrange it. Now first of all, the format goes like this. First heading will be equity and liabilities. Okay, under equity and liability, I told you the first one would be shareholders fund. Okay, under shareholders fund, you have share capital, second reserves and surplus. Okay, yeah, the second heading would be non-current liabilities. As I said, under non-current liabilities, basically you have long-term borrowings, any kind of secured loan, debentures, all such items will come under non-current liabilities. Third heading is current liabilities. So under current liabilities, you have loans, bank overdraft, trade payables, which is also called as debt, creditors and bills payable put together is nothing but your trade payables. All such items will come under current liabilities, outstanding expenses, etc. Okay, now when I total all this, that will give my total. Okay, then you are followed by assets. The second heading is assets. Under assets, you have non-current assets. Okay, then you have current assets. Under non-current assets, you have, first one is your fixed asset. Okay, under fixed assets, I have tangible assets intangible assets. Intangible assets. Okay, followed by non-current investments. First heading is fixed assets, then you have non-current investments, loans and advances. Three headings under non-current assets, followed by current assets. Under current assets you have cash balance, bank balance, cash and cash equivalents, what is that, current investments, inventories, trade receivables, which is nothing but your debtors and bills receivable put together. All such items you will write it here. Okay, yeah. Now from the question, see what has to be, what has to be taken under each of the headings. So this is what I meant by format. Okay, now the first one, share capital. Where will it come? It will come under share capital. So for 2016 I will copy 4 lakh as it is, and for 2017 it is 5 lakhs. Okay, next, general reserve. Where will general reserve come? It will come under reserves and surplus. So copy it as it is, 50,000, then 60,000 for 2017. Next, secured loan. Secured loan is nothing but your non-current liabilities. As I said, under non-current liabilities you have debentures, secured loan, any long-term borrowings. So secured loan is a non-current liability, so I will write secured loans. How much is it? 15,000 and 20,000. Copy it as it is. Okay, next, current liabilities. It's given directly current liability. So under current liability I can copy it as 50,000, then 70,000. If the question had bank overdraft, bank loan or trade payables, then I will write it below and write the amount in the respective columns. Done. Now building. Building is what? It's a fixed asset. So it will come under fixed asset, tangible asset. So under tangible I will write building. How much is building? 2 lakhs. 2 lakh 50. Okay, next is your machinery. So write machinery, which is 1 lakh 50 and 2 lakh. Okay, next, stock. Stock will come under which heading? Stock is nothing but your current assets. It will come under the heading inventories. Okay, so you can write inventories bracket stock. How much stock? 1 lakh 10,000. Okay, next, trade receivables. Trade receivables is again a current asset. So under current asset I will write trade receivables. So you will write trade receivables. Okay, how much is it? 65,000 and 90,000. Okay, yeah. So I've just copied the question according to the format. As I said, this format is important. If the question was like this in the format, you can just copy the question as it is. If not, you arrange it according to these headings. So as I said, equity and liability, under the 3 headings: shareholders fund, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. Then under assets you have non-current assets and current assets. Under non-current assets you have fixed assets, tangible, intangible. Tangible means something which you can touch and see, like land and building, machinery, furniture and all. Intangible is goodwill, trademarks and all. So if it is not there, you don't have to take. Okay, then sometimes they will give you non-current investments, so that can be your second one. And then even short loans and advances also can be given, that is your third one. Then under current assets you have cash and cash equivalents, inventory, trade receivables. So whatever is given in the question, that you can write it under the respective headings. So I have just copied the sum. Now do the totaling. So this is your total assets, this is your total equity and liability. So when I total this side, I get 5,15,000, and for this year I get 6,50,000. The same thing, when I total the assets, I will get 5,15,000. For 2017, when I total the assets, I get 6,50,000. So this is what I meant by copy the question in the format, complete the sum, do the totaling, everything, and then you start comparing. Now they are asking you to do comparative statement. So start comparing. compare means compare. When you compare 4 lakh and 5 lakh, there will be either increase or decrease. So that will be your next column. You will write absolute increase or decrease. Now how do I find the increase or decrease? 4 lakh and 5 lakh. So from 2016 to 2017 there is an increase of 1 lakh. So you write 1 lakh. Okay, another thing, just check if the question has 16 first and 17 first. If it is given 17 first and 16, you arrange 16, 17 and then start comparing. Now 50 and 60,000. Again there is an increase of 10,000. Here 15 and 20,000. There is an increase of 5,000. Then here 50 and 20, increase of 20,000. So as I said, blindly you can just compare, write the difference. So here there is an increase of 1,35,000. Now 2 lakh and 2 lakh 50, there is a jump of 50,000. In 1 lakh 50 and 2 lakh, again an increase of 50,000. 1 lakh and 1 lakh 10, increase of 10,000. Here there is an increase of 25,000. Here increase of 1,35,000. Suppose if there was a decrease, suppose if you had here, for example, let's take an example. Suppose if it was 65,000 and 60,000 here. So there's a jump, there's a decrease of 5,000. Then I will write the answer with minus. I will write it this way, minus 5,000. You can either use bracket or minus sign. You can write it like 5,000 or minus 5,000 when there's a decrease. I meant if here it is 65 and 60,000, then there's a decrease of 5,000 which I will show it in this column using the minus sign. Next column is your percentage increase or decrease. When I say percentage increase, you take 1 lakh divided by 4 lakh into 100. I repeat, 1 lakh divided by 4 lakh into 100. Okay, so it will be 1 lakh divided by 4 lakhs into 100, which gives me 25%. Okay, then again for this percentage will be 10,000 divided by 50,000 into 100. So 10,000 divided by 50,000 into 100. So gives me 20%. It's the same way, 5,000 divided by 15,000 into 100 gives me 33.33%. 20,000 divided by 50,000 into 100, 40%. Okay, here. Now 1,35,000 divided by 5,15,000 into 100 gives me 26.21%. The same thing you will do for all the columns. 50,000 divided by 2 lakh into 100, 25%. 50,000 divided by 1,50,000 into 100, 33.33%. 10,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100, 10%. 25,000 divided by 65,000, 38.48%. 1,35,000 divided by 5,15,000 into 100, 26.21%. So this is how you do comparative balance sheet. The same thing if it is asked as comparative income statement. As I said, arrange it in the format, income statement format, and then start again comparing. Compare increase means you write it just the positive sign. Okay, if it is decrease, you will use a minus or a negative sign like this. Percentage increase will be increase and decrease divided by the base year amount into 100. This divided by this into 100.